Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And for those of you just tuning in for the first time, hi and welcome. I really appreciate you stopping by my channel and checking out my videos. So I thought today I could do a little get to know you type situation. So this video is brought to you by my really good friend Heather, who is also a YouTuber. I will list her link in the description box below. She is literally the most genuine, most kindest, sweetest person I think I have ever met on the face of this earth. So please go check out her channel. It surrounds itself on the platform of learning how to love yourself and self-identity and self-love. And I really feel like that is a super strong, important message for everyone to hear, particularly young women of this generation. So this is a tag video that was started. I've seen some other YouTubers do it as well, but this is going to be 50 questions no one has ever asked me before. So if you would like to see me sweat bullets over these 50 questions, then just keep on watching and don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so the first question on the dreaded list of 50 questions that no one has ever asked me before is, what's your favorite candle scent? Well, that one's not so bad and easy. My favorite candle scent is Macintosh Apple from Yankee Candle. It is awesome, awesome, awesome. And in the fall, I love to have them all over the house and fill just my heart and my soul. It's awesome. Number two, what female celebrity do you wish was your sister? That would probably have to be Jennifer Lawrence. I think her personality is hilarious, and I feel like our personalities would mesh pretty well. So definitely Jennifer Lawrence. Number three, what male celebrity do you wish was your brother? Chris Pratt. I think he's awesome. I love his movies, and I think he has the funniest personality. I loved him on Parks and Recreation, and he is my dude for real, and I feel like I would love to have him either as a cousin, a brother, a BFF. I just think he's a cool dude, and I would love to get the chance to hang out with him. But between Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt and me, it would be a good time. All right, number four, how old do you think you'll be when you get married? Well, you beat me to the punch with that one. He put a ring on it, so I've been married going on my fifth year. So number five, do you know a hoarder? Not particularly. I have some people that I know that have hoarder-like tendencies, but no one that I would say is completely a hoarder. Number six, can you do a split? Do I look like I could do a split? Really? Really? I think I would break myself if I tried that. No joke. Seven, how old were you when you learned how to ride a bike? This is pretty embarrassing. I think I was probably like 11 or 12. Yeah, I was a big pansy back in the day. Maybe I was a little bit younger. Like the first memory that I can have is like when I was like 11 or 12. I may have been a little bit younger, but I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Number eight, how many oceans have you swam in? Probably three. I've swam in the Pacific Ocean, I've swam in the Atlantic Ocean, and I have swam in the Gulf. I don't know if the Gulf really counts, but to me it counts. So number nine, how many countries have you been to? I've been to Mexico, I've been to Germany, and I've been to the Bahamas, but I think those are the only three that I've been to. Man, that's sad, isn't it? Gosh, I need to get on that seriously. Number 10, is anyone in your family in the Army? No, I have had family members that have been in the Army, but none that are currently in the Army. So my grandfather was in the Army at one point when he was younger, but that was way back when. And I think actually, no, now that I think about it, my father-in-law was also in the military. But those are definitely the only two. Number 11, what would you name your daughter if you had one? Well, I do have one, and her name is Isla. So, next question. Number 12, what would you name your son if you had one? If I had a son, I really, really love the name Ezra. And I think it would be so cute to have Isla and Ezra. I just think it would. So anyway, 13, what's the worst grade you got on a test? Well, I was a terrible student, mostly because I was more into the socialization aspect of school. Not that I wasn't book smart or anything. I was very, very smart if I applied myself, but I just really, I was not a bookworm by any means. But the worst grade I ever made, is there anything less than like an F? Like, seriously, I think like in math, I'm horrible at math. And I honestly think that one time I'm pretty sure I made like a 16 on a test because, yeah, I'm just, never ask me to do your taxes because you'll end up owing millions. Let's see. 14. What was your favorite TV show when you were a kid? That is a very easy one. I loved all that. It was my jam. I would watch it all the time. I would hop off the school bus and run into my house, and I would sit in the floor with a big giant bowl of cereal, Lucky Charms cereal, and I would sit in the floor and I would watch all that. 90s kid. Number 15. What did you dress up as on Halloween when you were 8? I don't remember actually. I probably was like a fairy princess or something. Like I honestly do not remember that far back. Number 16. Have you read any of the Harry Potter, Hunger Games, or Twilight series? I have read all 3 of those. Unfortunately, I was really disappointed when all 3 of those movie series went out because I think that they weren't quite as good as the books, but that's just my honest opinion. Okay. Number 17. Would you rather have an American accent or a British accent? British all the way. I think British accents are so cool, and I admire people that have a British accent. I just think they sound so highly educated. Like every time I hear anybody with a British accent, I just want to sit there like But anyway, 18. Did your mother go to college? Yes, my mother did go to college. She is a elementary school teacher, and she actually finished college in 3 years. She was very motivated. She finished high school in 3 and college in 3. Number 19. Are your grandparents still married? My dad's parents are still married. My mother's parents are not. Number 20. Have you ever taken karate lessons? No. I am not that coordinated. I'm not that talented, and I would fail miserably. Do you know who Kermit the Frog is? Who doesn't? Number 22. What's the first amusement park you've been to? My very first amusement park that I've ever been to is actually, I think my first amusement park I ever remember going to is probably Universal Studios. That or Disneyland, but I think I was about 5 at the time, so I don't remember much about the experience, but I know that was one of the first ones I went to, was either Universal or Disneyland. 23. What language besides your native language would you like to be fluent in? Spanish, because I do live in Texas and there are a lot of Spanish speaking people, and I do feel like in America it is very beneficial to be bilingual in both Spanish and English. I used to be pretty fluent when I was in high school and my early years in college, because I did take some Spanish courses. Number 24. Do you spell the color gray as in G-R-E-Y or G-R-A-Y? G-R-A-Y. 25. Is your father bald? No, he is not. He still has a full head of hair. 26. Do you know triplets? No, I do not know any triplets. I know twins. I know a lot of twins, but I don't know any triplets. 27. Do you prefer Titanic or The Notebook? That is a really, really hard question, because I love both stories so much. Titanic was just, it is a true tragic romance, but I feel like The Notebook speaks to my soul, because literally it is my great-grandparents' love story, like all over again. Like when my mom and I watched it for the first time, she and I we were so hysterical by the end of that movie, because it reminded us so much of my great-grandparents. So definitely The Notebook. 28. Have you ever had Indian food? I have had some Indian food, and it's pretty good, I have to say. 29. What's the name of your favorite restaurant? Third one. I think right now my favorite restaurant is Babe's Chicken. It's in Carrollton, Texas, which is like right outside of Dallas, and it is, awesome. It's like a family style restaurant. They don't have a menu. They only serve 5 things, which is fried chicken, smoked chicken, chicken tenders, fried catfish, and I can't remember the other one. I think like country fried steak, and then it's like all you can eat like sides, and they're amazing. So definitely that one. 30. Have you ever been to Olive Garden? Yes, I do. It's actually another one of my favorite restaurants to go to. My husband and I like to go there a lot for like date night and that kind of thing. 31. Do you belong to any warehouse stores, Costco, BJ's, etc.? Yes, I do. I am a proud member of Sam's Club. Gotta buy in bulk sometimes, especially like diapers, wipes, and formula for any of you moms out there. That will save you so much money, especially on diapers and wipes. You can get like 1,000 diaper wipes in a big giant box for like 17 bucks. It's amazing. And it saved me when I had my daughter. 32. What would your parents have named you if you were the opposite gender? I do happen to know this because my mom told me once that if I was a boy, they were going to name me Patrick Casey, which is interesting. 33. If you have a nickname, what is it? I have 2. When I was in school, people would call me Desi. My middle name is Desiree, for those that don't know. And a lot of people would call me Desi. And then at home, my family calls me Sis because my little brother could not say the word sister. So he would say sissy or sis. So I've just always been Sis from now on. 34. Who's your favorite person in the world? My favorite person in the world. This is a hard one, and I really hope I don't cry. My favorite person in the world would have to be my little brother. Oh God, I'm gonna cry. Just had to ask me a sad question. Just had to ask me a question. My favorite person in the world is my little brother, and unfortunately, he is not here anymore. He passed away 2 years ago, very suddenly and very tragically. I don't really like to talk about it much, but he is definitely my favorite person in the world. He truly inspired me with his fortitude and perseverance through just everything. He played sports, and he was just a strong, determined young man. And it is very, very unfortunate that his life ended too soon. But he is very, very missed and very, very loved. And I still, to this day, look up to him very, very much. So I'm going to move on to the next question so I don't have to talk about it anymore. 35. Would you rather live in a rural area or in the suburbs? I'm torn between that because I have lived in both. I have lived in the suburbs, and I have also lived in more country backroads area. And honestly, I really like the suburbs more. I've just always been a suburban girl. That's just kind of me. Can you whistle? I can, but not very well. I can kind of do the Andy E. Griffith theme song when I whistle, but I'm not going to do it on here. Do you sleep with a nightlight? No, I do not. I have to have it absolutely pitch black to fall asleep. Otherwise, I can't sleep. 38. Do you eat breakfast every morning? No, I don't. This sounds really, really weird, but when I wake up in the morning, it takes me a while to like get going and get my system kind of going. And sometimes I wake up like almost like nauseated feeling, and I'm not really in a mood to eat right when I wake up or anything. I usually, if I do eat breakfast, it's probably like more like brunch. But anyway, do you take any pills or medication daily? Yes, I do. When I was 20, I had a stroke. I have also not talked about this on this channel. I'll probably be making a separate video talking about this and my experience. But I had a stroke, so now I have to take a baby aspirin every single day, and I do take medication for migraine headaches. I get those quite a bit, and it's kind of a post effect from having a stroke. Number 40, what medical conditions do you have? Like I said, I had a stroke when I was 20. It was just kind of a freak thing. There wasn't really any rhyme or reason to it. It just kind of happened. The doctors don't really know why. It was just kind of one of those fluke things. So like I said, I have to take a baby aspirin every day to kind of help my blood like regulate a little bit thinner than most. So yeah. Have you ever seen Finding Nemo? I have seen Finding Nemo a million times. Y'all forget that I'm a mom of a 2-year-old, and we have seen all the Disney movies, and we have seen them. 43, where do you buy your jeans? Wherever they are the cheapest and wherever they fit me. I have kind of an odd body type. I am kind of pear-shaped. I'm skinnier at the top and I have really wide hips. So I have a really, really hard time finding jeans. I have just a really tiny waist and I'm just like, boop. So wherever they will fit me is where I typically buy them. 44, what's the last compliment you got? The last compliment that I got was from one of my subscribers, actually, and I'm friends with her on Instagram as well, and you know who you are. And she gave me the compliment that I really inspire her through my videos, and that she thinks that I'm really, really talented, and that meant the absolute world to me, because I am, for one, very hard on myself, and I guess the way that I do makeup and the way that I execute certain looks, I'm very, very hard on myself, but I have to always keep reminding myself, like I remind you guys, that we're all practicing and we're all getting better, and not to be my own worst critic and own worst enemy. So she is definitely the last person to give me an awesome compliment. 45, do you usually remember your dreams in the morning? Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. When I was pregnant with my daughter, my dreams would be heavily, heavily vivid, which I've heard this a lot from other women that have been pregnant, that tends to happen, but I would always remember my dreams, and they were so colorful, and I could remember them like to the T of like every detail, and it was pretty cool. 46, what flavor tea do you enjoy? I really like mint tea. It is awesome, and it's a great way to wake up in the morning. I love it. Especially when you have a cold, and when I was pregnant with my daughter, I had the worst morning sickness on the face of the earth. Oh my gosh. And mint was the only thing that would help. Like, I would constantly keep a peppermint in my mouth when I was at work, and that would kind of keep the nausea at bay. But it is a really, really good remedy if you have morning sickness, or if you kind of have an upset stomach, is to drink some mint tea or to keep a peppermint in your mouth. 47, how many pairs of shoes do you currently own? I really don't know. I think about 12, honestly. Like, I have, but they're like designated for each season. Like, I have shoes that are designated for summer, I have shoes for spring, I have shoes for fall, and I have shoes for winter. So, you know, they're all, you know, right. Okay, so number 48, what do you hope your children will be when they grow up? I hope my children do whatever their heart tells them, whether that means they go to college, whether that means they don't. I will try and support them as much as I possibly can, because I feel like that is really, really important for kids to do and achieve whatever goal or dream that they want, and not to put that down. So that's kind of how I feel on that subject. 49, how old were you when you found out Santa wasn't real? I was pretty old. I think I was like 12 or 13, because I remember being on the school bus and a kid like totally crushing my dreams and being like, Santa Claus isn't real. And I was like, what are you talking about? And they were like, your mommy and daddy like put out your presents, like, you know, when you're asleep. And I remember like that year I was like paranoid, because I was like, Santa Claus is so real. And I remember I stayed up super, super late and heard my parents bumping around outside, and I looked out the window and totally got my dreams crushed, because I caught them like bringing in a bicycle, and then I snuck downstairs and like watched them put it together and put the bow on it and everything, and I was devastated. So I think I was probably like about about 11 or 12 or 13, somewhere in there. And last but not least, why do you have a Tumblr? I don't have a Tumblr. I have a Facebook, I have my Instagram, I have Twitter, but I don't have a Tumblr, sadly. All right, guys, that is it. That is the 50 questions that no one has ever asked me tag. I hope that I revealed a little bit about myself and you got to know me a little bit better. But if you would like to participate in this tag, please make sure that you tag I want to be a companion as well as myself. I would love to see your answers and what you came up with. So as always, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see next, please list it below in the comment section, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.